Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be starting now. Just a quick note that this session is being recorded. And so if you miss out on anything or if you have to leave earlier than planned for any reason, you can find the recorded video on our website anytime next week. So feel free to check that out at your own time. But before we begin, we would like to acknowledge that the University of Waterloo is on lands that are deeply connected to Indigenous peoples who have historically lived and who currently live in this territory. These groups include the Neutral, the Anishinaabe, and Haudenosaunee peoples. The University of Waterloo is also situated on the Haldimand Tract, the land that is promised to the Six Nations that includes 10 kilometers on each side of the Grand River. So hello everyone, my name is Hibat Omar. I am the International Student Experience Assistant here at the Student Success Office. And with me today, I have a few very special guests that will be presenting on building community. So I'm gonna let them go ahead and introduce themselves right now. Nada, would you like to begin?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name's Nada, or Nada, whatever you want to call me. And I'm the Vice President Student Life of the Waterloo Undergraduate Student Association, also known as WUSA. And yeah, I'll be talking to you a little bit about what the Undergraduate Student Association does for you. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Navia, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Navya, and I'm the International Student Coordinator of GSA, Graduate Student Association. And in our further session, especially for the breakout session, we'll be explaining about services and supports that will be offered to our international graduate students.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here, both of you. And so for our agenda today, we'll be covering some important information about the International Student Experience resources that are available to you as international students. So some of them being the UWaterloo program, the International Peer Community Group, Immigration Consulting, and of course, the International Student Guide. Afterwards, we'll be going into breakout rooms, one undergrad and one graduate breakout room to discuss building community. So first up, we have the UWaterloo program. This is a program that is designed to help international students feel connected to Canada and to other Waterloo warriors during the month of December specifically. This is intended for international students in Canada or abroad who want to be matched with a Canadian pen pal. So this can be an undergraduate student, a graduate student, or a two-term exchange student as well. It is also intended for Canadian and permanent resident students who volunteer to be pen pals with international students, and of course, any staff, faculty, or alumni who volunteer to be pen pals with an international student as well. Now, how does UWaterloo work? Registration, thankfully, is now open and available through our website, so please feel free to check that out. All links that are applicable to this online discussion will be dropped at the end of the session, so please look out for those in the chat section. And to sign up for the UWaterloo program to be matched with a Canadian pen pal, you have to make sure you first of all register for the UWaterloo program, and of course check your inbox in December to find out who your pen pal is and begin corresponding with them. Each week, it's also important that you look out for the UWaterloo newsletter with some helpful winter tips and events that are happening both in person and virtually. And then we have the IPC, which is the International Peer Community Group. This is a peer support program aimed at helping new international students settle in and feel at home at the University of Waterloo. When you join the international peer community, you will be connected to other international students and have upper year volunteers and community leaders that are supporting you. So all international students, including undergraduate, graduate, and exchange students are welcome to apply to be a part of this group. And of course, if you're interested in volunteering, becoming a community leader, or registering for the fall term program, you can follow the links that are indicated on our website that I'll be putting in this chat section later on. Some IPC events that are happening this fall term include the coffee chats, art attack, pop culture, games, and trivia nights, and then of course, speed friending. So feel free to join the community and get started in having a lot of fun with other international students. And then we move on to immigration consulting. So we have an experienced and dedicated team of licensed, regulated Canadian immigration consultants ready to answer any questions about your Canadian immigration status or government resources that are available to you as an international student. And the great part about this service is that it's free. So please make sure to take advantage of it while you still can as a student attending the University of Waterloo. And some of the questions that they can answer for you include questions concerning your study permits, working on and off campus, co-op work permits and post-graduation work permits, temporary resident visas, electronic travel authorizations, ETAs, post-graduation work permits, and permits and TRVs for spouse, common law partners, and or children or people that are dependent on you. Once again, it's free, so make sure to take advantage of that service. And to get in touch with the immigration consultants and just get your questions and concerns resolved, you may either submit an online inquiry, attend one of the upcoming immigration information sessions, or book an appointment with one of our consultants through Portal. So you can download Portal and then book the appointment, or you could do it through the web version as well. Now for the step-by-step processes and how to use each of the techniques above to get your questions answered and concerns resolved, visit our immigration consulting website that is stated here, and I'll also be dropping in the chat section, so look out for that. And of course, we have something that's called the International Student Guide, basically the Holy Grail. It provides you with detailed, up-to-date information and various resources that are available to you as an international student attending the University of Waterloo. And some of these resources include the Waterloo Student Quarantine Package, which is now open for international students coming into Canada, the COVID-19 Travel and Quarantine Checklist, which is needed if you're abroad and planning to travel to Canada during these times, and of course, registration for orientation that is supposed to happen in January. These are only a few things that are included on the International Student Guide. So once again, check out our website for more information and other resources that are available to you. So now we're going to be going into the breakout rooms. There's going to be the one for undergraduates and one for graduates as well. Please follow the links that are provided in the chat to go to your corresponding breakout room. And thank you so much for listening.
So, hello. I'll be talking to you today about the Waterloo Undergraduate Student Association. So first I will introduce myself. My name is Nada, and I'm the Vice President Student Life at WUSA, or the Waterloo Undergraduate Student Association. And basically what I do is that I oversee our clubs, services, orientation that you probably were part of, and special events. So I will just go through and tell you what WUSA is about. So basically, WUSA is your official collective voice of undergraduate students. So we represent more than 36,000 students on campus. And we basically originated in 1967 as a student-led organization that would support you as an undergraduate student through services that you need to focus on your academics and to build your kind of extracurriculars. So we also have a promise to our students, and it's basically that you can rely on us to bring you the services that support you, platforms that amplify your voices, and experiences that create lasting memories. So that can be through our governing bodies, where you can voice your concerns or things that you want to see with your student association. That can also be through clubs, where you get involved with like-minded individuals and then build on your extracurricular activities. In addition, we're committed to improving the lives of the UWaterloo graduates, both in and outside of the classroom. And we empower students to affect the change they want to see, while working on their behalf to build a stronger campus community. So, who do we serve? It's in the name, our undergraduate student body. So if you're an undergraduate student, you're automatically a member of WUSA. You gain access to our services, our supports, our social activities that are tailored to your student needs. And so pretty much all we do is we listen to you, and we offer you what you need. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about our businesses. We call them our student-friendly businesses, so we have quite a bit of them. For example, we have the Student Life Center, which is a building on campus that I hope you've had the opportunity to go to. It would have been probably your first stop to get your walk card, because that's where the Watt card office is located. So our SLC is currently opened from Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. There are study spaces over there, and we make sure that they are appropriately distant from each other, so that in the middle of the pandemic, we do not endanger any of our students. We also operate a bunch of other services, including our FedBus service, which in an ideal world would be working right now. So it would provide you trips at a reduced cost from Waterloo to your select cities. So we did offer routes to Markham, London, Burlington, Hamilton, York, and so much more. And then you have the turnkey desk, which is basically your one-stop shop when you go into the Student Life Center. So when you go in there, if you need assistance, that's where you get your assistance, at the turnkey desk. That is also where you can load your Presto card if you are going to take the GO bus or the GO train. So yeah, and if you need any information, the turnkey desk will definitely help you with that. We also have Feds used books, so we currently are offering our Feds used books online as well as in store for a limited kind of capacity. But if you are looking for textbooks for your class and you're not really wanting to go and buy it at full price, we offer you our shop to kind of go buy the same textbook for a reduced price, obviously. And once you're done with the textbook, and if you want to sell your textbook and then get money for that, you can also do that through Feds used books. Lastly, we have International News, which is located in the Student Life Center. So it's a convenience store, pretty much, that would help you with your needs. If you want coffee, you can go there. If you want breakfast, you can go there. But we also have started offering it on Uber Eats. So if you want to order our sandwiches and our fried chicken, you can go to our Uber Eats Bistro 519 and get that delivered to your home, or our sushi. So you don't need to come to campus in order to access our services. They're pretty much available to you online entirely. Next, I'm going to talk to you about our student-run services. So they are quite different from our businesses because they are not looking to take money from you, pretty much. They are looking to support you. So they're student-led, meaning that our coordinators, our executives, and our volunteers are all students like you. So you can get involved as well in those services and be one of those volunteers. We have three categories, pretty much, or I'd say somewhat of three categories. We have our peer support services, which include our three equity-seeking services: RAISE, Racial Advocacy for Inclusion, Solidarity, and Equity; the Women's Center; the GLOW Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity. And then we also have off-campus community, as I'm sure a lot of you do not live on campus. And so if you want to access services that would help you while you're living off campus, the off-campus community is a really great stop there. Lastly, we have MATES. MATES is our largest peer support service, where you can go talk to a peer about anything that's bothering you. Obviously, everything that you talk about is confidential, but it's a really great service to utilize. Yeah, and all of them are still offered online. Some obviously are being offered this term on campus, including RAISE, the Women's Center, GLOW, off-campus community, MATES, and can't remember the fourth one, but it'll come to me. I will remember it and I'll tell you. And then we have our food security service, which is called the Food Support Service. You can access this currently through the turnkey desk. So remember when I told you about the turnkey desk and how it's kind of your one-stop shop. If you're in need of food, or if you just want to access our service, you can definitely go to the turnkey desk and grab a hamper. We offer a vegetarian hamper and a meat hamper. And then lastly, we have bike rentals. I know that it started to snow and it's quite cold outside, but if you're still one of those people who likes to take bike rides during the rain, you can basically rent a bike through the bike center. If you currently have a bike and you want to tune it up, it also serves as a DIY shop for your bike. So it's pretty cool. I'd recommend that you go check it out. Next, we have our GRT Universal Bus Pass. So GRT, pretty much our buses and our LRT. In an ideal world, we would have that that pass available for you through an opt-in process, which we have right now. And so you can buy this pass for about $300 a term. It gets put on your walk card, and then whenever you access the train or the bus, you just tap your walk card, and then you're good to go for the rest of the term. So this program basically saves our students about $878 each per year, because it basically grants you unlimited access to city buses and our LRT. And then we have our student-driven entertainment, both of which are clubs and our events. So our clubs, we offer about more than 250 official clubs that are registered. They can range from religious clubs to sport clubs to cultural clubs to crafts clubs. We also have a coffee and code club. So if you're one of those people who likes both intersections, then that would be the perfect club for you. Yeah, and we have different clubs that are active each term. So make sure to check out our clubs and community, clubs and societies community page on Facebook if you're looking to join a club. And then we have our events, which if you're following our Facebook, Instagram, you've probably heard of them. So if you haven't yet, we're having our last bingo event for this term this week. So go to our Instagram page and check that out. We also offer other events such as WUSA's Got Talent, Local Sounds Concert, and kind of featuring our services on our Instagram. So those are the kind of events that we offer throughout the term. And then we also advocate for our students. So since we began, we've been representing our students to the university, as well as municipally, provincially, and federally. So for example, my fellow execs, our VP Education and our president are undergoing lobbying week, the federal lobbying week this week, where they get to talk to ministers and members of parliament about things that are important to you as an undergrad student. So it's really important that if you want to voice your concerns or opinions, that you get involved with our Students' Council, where you bring your concerns forward. So students are able to vote during our general meeting twice a year, as well as our annual elections to select their executives, their board of directors, Students' Council, and senators. So our next upcoming general meeting is actually in March. The date is still being finalized, but make sure to check that out. And in terms of our elections, they're currently undergoing, so check out vote.wusa.ca to see who you want to vote for, who you want to nominate, and if you are interested in holding one of those positions, please nominate yourself. And then lastly, we have a lot of opportunities for our students. We coordinate 12 student-run services that provide excellent opportunities to volunteer and gain experiences, which include, and I kind of touch upon this a little bit, our off-campus community, our Glow Center, campus response team, Co-op Connection, if you are in co-op and you're finding it a little bit hard to make friends in a new city that you're in, Co-op Connection is a great service for that. Our International and Canadian Student Network, which offers pretty much some connection between international students and Canadian students. RAISE, CAPS, so Centre for Academic Policy and Support, as well as our WUSA Sustainability Project. So this is not an exhaustive list, it's just some of our services. Please check out our WUSA.ca website in order to find the rest of our services. And if you're looking for more info, I just told you to head to WUSA.ca or connect with us on Instagram. And our Instagram is basically at your WUSA. If you're looking to ask questions, to ask me questions that you have about this presentation or about anything else with WUSA, please let me know. My email is vpsl@wusa.ca.
Yeah, so hi everyone. So as I've already mentioned in our previous introduction, so I'm Navya and I'm the International Student Coordinator of GSA, and it's my pleasure to talk about our services and supports measure that we have for our international graduate students in this session today. And we also have Cindy, our Vice President of Administration. So as an overview of our whole session, in the first part, I'll be talking about our core services provided by GSA, the resources and the supports for international graduate students. And then in our second part, we can have a Q&A session wherein participants can type in your questions in the chat or feel free to unmute yourself or ask the questions. And finally, we'll have an ice-breaking session of introducing yourself as well as a virtual scavenger hunt, which will be really fun. So the Graduate Student Association, University of Waterloo, is the official representation of our graduate students at University of Waterloo. So to begin with, I would like to focus on our mission, vision, and our values. Our mission is to serve the graduate students of Waterloo with dedication and commitment for improving the academic quality and the social experience, as well as promoting our well-being. And this is one of the main motives that stands as a backbone to our organization. And our vision is like we envision a university where all our graduate students' interests are protected and their voices are heard and are optimally free from social, financial, academic, environmental, and geological barrier. And our values are transparency, inclusivity, integrity, and self-improvement. So moving on to our team, here on the right-hand side, we have our management team with David as President and CEO, and Cindy, Vice President of Administration, Sabine, Vice President of Communication, Kevin as Executive Manager, and Cam as Hospitality Manager. And on the left, we have our team of coordinators, including myself, and we have a couple of other positions related to wellness coordinator, engagement coordinators, then policy, equity, campus partnership, and community development. And at the bottom, we have like the Stratford campus coordinator, Cambridge coordinator, and highlighting ourselves, like me as the international student coordinator and Cindy again as like vice president of administration. Moving on. So we actively promote and represent graduate student interest to the university administration and to all levels of governance. Now I'll talk about our core services, and there are three main sections. On the left-hand side, we have GRT and the ION UPass, and student care, health plan, and dental coverage, then student care, legal, and tax aid. And on the right-hand side, we have advocacy and support, funding options, academic support, social events, and finally our graduate house. So I'll be going on these sections in detail now. The GSA provides a number of services to our graduate students, such as legal aid, income tax aid, supplementary health and dental plans, GRT best pass, and student advising. So moving on to the first section of transportation, health and dental, legal and tax aid. So first we have the GRT pass, our UPass, the ID card, where we have unlimited access to our transit within the Waterloo region. So for especially our international students who are currently on their own home countries, it will be very useful once you are landed on our campus. You can transport in and around university using your UPass. And then we have the health plan and dental coverage, which includes the prescription of drugs and then health practitioners' fees all relating to mental health, massage therapist, and the speech therapist. And we also include the diagnostic services. And in addition to this, we have dental coverage, vision coverage, and travel coverage. And these are resources which are additional to the UHIP. And then we also have a mental health resource that is Empower Me, which is an access to additional support that is available 24/7. That's 365 days a year as a resource. And relating to the legal and tax aid, we have a toll-free legal assistant helpline where we have a legal representation. You can book an appointment and talk to a legal practitioner. And so you can have legal representation based on the following areas, such it can be related to housing or employment issues related to contracts or agencies, and then disputes with academic institutions related to sexual misconduct or criminal act. And finally, I would also like to mention about our income tax aid that we provide. So you can also book a tax aid consultation, and we all usually have tax aid clinics in March and April every year. And then we have our graduate house. So as a non-profit business unit that's serviced and operated by GSA Waterloo, where we have services including subsidized food pricing, social programming, and we can use the spaces in graduate house for social activities or events. We also receive discounts on food prices and free room booking for any kind of conferences or meetings, social gatherings. So these resources can be benefited once you land on the campus. As you might know, right now, due to the pandemic, we are running on restricted hours from 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. So next, related to the advocacy and support, we represent on and off campus through various committees at UWaterloo. For example, we have the University Senate committees, faculty-wide and university-wide committees, especially the Graduate Student Relation Committee, where they addresses the concerns related to graduate student concerns and issues. And we also have external representations through the town and mayor and professional government advocacy. And we also provide confidential advising sessions, which is through our student wellness coordinator, Ashley Wren, and where advices are given to graduate students who are experiencing challenges, help in relating to navigating the policies or filing a grievance, appeal, or petition, and also as a support person for the meetings. So you can book these through our online sessions or take an appointment and then get a consultation.
And of course, there will be many more sessions like this. Hopefully you were able to collaborate with the GSA again for, another very informative session. But thank you for being here. And of course, if you ever have anything that comes up, you could visit their website or email them at the emails indicated on the slide here. And of course, if you have any ISC related questions as well, you can email us at isc@uwaterloo.ca, and we'll do our best to answer your questions or concerns.